Today, we're going to talk about my top 10 thrift flips, in terms of profit, that is. 4 on Facebook Marketplace, 4 on Poshmark, and 3 on eBay. Now, if you're doing the math, that equals more than 10. That's 11. There's one personal item in there that I'm just throwing in for fun. For these 10 items that I bought to flip, I spent a grand total of $59 to acquire those items. And when all was said and done, after fees, shipping, and everything, I netted a profit of $1,166. So when you look at that in terms of a return on investment of $59, that's almost 2,000% profit. Or another way to look at that is I 20x'd my money. 20 times what I spent is what I made in net profit. So without any further ado, let's dig in and start with item number 10. Well, it's actually a tie. There's 2. The profit was so close on these 2, I just had to count them both. So the first one is a Little Earth handbag. It's a metal handbag with Swarovski crystals. I bought this at the Wynn's thrift store for $15 and sold it for $89.99 plus shipping. So the net profit on that item was right around $68. Now that item took roughly 4 months to sell, so a bit of a specialty thing, looking for just the right buyer. The next item, tied for 10th place, is a set of Peugeot salt and pepper shakers. Those sold in about 1 month. Acquisition cost, $2 at the Goodwill retail store, sold for $79.99 plus shipping. Again, net profit for that one, tied for 10th, around $68. Before I actually talk about number 9, I want to just explain how, when I talk about how much I paid for something at the Goodwill bins, how am I actually calculating that? Basically, I don't weigh every item. As you might imagine, I buy some items that are heavy and some items that are light. So that would be incredibly onerous, and I don't really see why I would need to look at the actual weight of each item at $1.65 per pound. So what I do instead is I take the total amount that I spend in a particular day, count the number of items that I purchased, and then just calculate the average. So if I spent $50 at the Goodwill bins one day and I got 50 items, well, we can all do the math. That would be an average cost of $1 per item. Item number 9, in terms of our highest profit items, is this set of military combat boots. This was a Poshmark sale. I paid 67 cents for these boots at the Goodwill bins on that particular day. Must have bought some light items because these were actually really heavy, so the average still turned out to be super low. Sold these boots in less than 90 days for $88. So after the 20% Poshmark fee, I was left with a profit of just around $70. And I was happy to ship these on Poshmark because it's anything that goes in any kind of a box goes for a flat shipping rate as long as it's not more than, I think, 5 pounds or something like that. So these fit the bill and easy to ship, easy money. In the 8th slot is a local Facebook Marketplace sale. And when you see, of course, what this item is, you'll understand why I wasn't particularly interested in shipping it. It's a Bag Boy revolver golf bag. So that part at the top turns around and it's got all the different slots for all the different golf clubs. And I got it at the Goodwill bins in great condition for, ready for it, that day my average cost was $1.42. And I sold this golf bag for $79. So our net profit, since there were no platform fees, no shipping or anything like that, was around $77. And it sold in 20 days. So obviously I bought it at the right time of year and it was a quick sell. Number 7 on the list is another local Facebook Marketplace sale. This is something I picked up at a professionally run estate sale in Palm Springs, California, back in November 2023 when I first started doing reselling. And as you can see, it's this set of Farberware stainless steel vintage pots and pans. This particular picture, I took that in my hotel room, took it on the floor to get it posted right away, and it sold on Facebook Marketplace for $99. I paid $20. When I converted to Canadian dollars, buying it in the US, it worked out to about $20 Canadian. Like I say, sold it for $99, so net profit just under $80. And that took, looking at my notes, about 60 days to sell after I listed it. In the 6th spot is a pair of men's nice shoes. This was an exciting sale for me. I paid $1.24 for these shoes at, you guessed it, the Goodwill bins. One of the very first times I ever went to the bins, and I didn't know this particular brand of shoes, but I knew to look things up, and I saw that they potentially could sell for high value. I ended up selling these on Poshmark for $109, and they took about 4 months, so not a super quick, but not a super long seller either. And so net profit was $86 after Poshmark fees. So pretty exciting to get $86 profit off of a $1.24 investment, especially when I was, so new to this whole reselling game. I felt really like I made a really good choice at the bins. Item number 5, I've actually talked about in another video, and because it's a fairly recent sale. And this was a piece of art glass sculpture of a buffalo that I found at the Goodwill retail store for $6. And it's a local Facebook Marketplace sale. Sold it for $99. And of course, because it's Facebook Marketplace, no fees, no shipping. So my net profit on this particular item was $93. And just to give you context, this buffalo was about this big. Pretty nice pickup, and the lady who bought it was thrilled. She bought it for her brother, and she was so excited to be able to give it to him. Makes me happy. In 4th spot, this is a Poshmark sale, and this is a brand that if you haven't heard of it, and if you're a thrifter or a reseller, keep an eye out for this brand if you ever do find it. It's a pair of men's boots. This particular brand makes both men's and women's shoes, and it's called John Fluevog. It's sort of a funky brand of different types of footwear. Good, high quality, basically designer footwear. Has a bit of a following to it, and anytime I've ever heard anyone talk about it, it sells for really good money. And was I thrilled to find it at the Goodwill bins. It's one of those times when you're at the bins, and typically I'm going to a bin that's already been picked over pretty well by a lot of other bins shoppers. So when I come across something that sold for, let me look, $125 that everyone left behind, it's just a little thrill. It's that adrenaline rush, right? Anyway, $125 on Poshmark. These sold in about 2 weeks, so a very quick seller. Again, they've got a following, so when you price it right, they will definitely sell. So after Poshmark fees, oh, I forgot to say, my net cost when I bought this one, average 60 cents. You heard me, less than $1. Sold for $125, net profit $99.20. Next up is, I'm just calling it a bonus item. Just wanted to throw it in here. This is where it fits in the dollars and cents scheme of profit. And it's a personal item. It's this red upholstered chair that I bought that comes with its matching ottoman. The back of this chair, you can put it up or down, different sort of angles, and even have it lay flat like a little single bed. I use it on occasion. And I paid about $300 for this online, Costco, and sold it on Facebook Marketplace in 1 day for $100. Something like 7 years after I bought it. So pretty happy with that. I got good use out of it. It was sitting down in my basement in storage for a while, and I thought, why am I not selling this? I'm a reseller. So was happy to get $100 and get it out of my house. Coming in the bronze medal position, 3rd place, is Pyrex. I was in the Goodwill retail store one time, and I don't know what made me look this up, because, we all know Pyrex, but for some reason I looked up these blue tinted ones, found out that they were vintage, apparently sought after, and so I had this set of, I actually bought 3 at one time, and then in a different Goodwill on a completely different day, found the other 2 for this set of 5. And separately, I had listed this bigger sort of a loaf pan style and paid in total for all of these pieces $9.50, again, over different days and different stores. And this is a recent sale. It sold in less than a week. And with all of these pieces combined, it was a multiple order from the same buyer on eBay, $120. So net profit on this one after eBay fees, whatever else, $114.37 for glass Pyrex. Nice one. So now you better believe every time I'm in the glass section of the thrift store, I'm checking for these blue Pyrex and looking for these particular models. And I have, believe it or not, you believe it, found them since. So I'll be putting up some duplicate listings to these ones on eBay very soon. Now, if you're following along closely and doing the math while I'm showing you these sales, you might think, how is it possible that you sold Pyrex for $120, you paid $9.50, and you're ending up with a profit of $114? That math doesn't add up, Dawn. Well, the reason is there was a lot of shipping. As you can imagine, 6 pieces of Pyrex is a fair bit of weight. And so there was a lot of shipping on this one. Because it was a multiple order, I ended up working with the buyer to ship it all at once instead of in 2 separate packages. And there's also some discounts when I purchased my shipping labels through eBay. So when all was said and done, there was a little bit of extra made on the shipping as well with the discount. So that's why it came out to $114 profit on my original $9.50. Our silver medal profit item number 2 on the list, is this set of nativity figures. So I have to actually look at my notes to pronounce this correctly. It is M. Chav Obanya. That's my French accent. I did study French in school. This nativity terracotta little figures. They're called Santon figures, signed by the pottery house, I guess, that makes them in France. The quick backstory on this one, a good friend of mine, of course, I'm always talking about thrifting and people are ever so curious about, these crazy flips that I find. And so she was intrigued and decided that she wanted to come to the bins with me one day. So we go to the bins, she's looking around and I'm doing my thing. And, every so often we get together and see what the other one has found. And I was in a miscellaneous bin, maybe it was a toy bin. And I saw a cardboard box, like this big maybe. And what I saw, the top was open, and what I saw was like paper towels, wrapped little things. And what struck me is that's how my mom would put her sort of precious Christmas ornaments away after we took the tree down and everything every year. So I took a quick peek, and this was a relatively new bin. There was a lot of people around. And all I saw was just one of these little clay looking things. And so I thought, that could be something. I just grabbed the box and put it in my cart. And I thought, I'm going to look into it later. Well, my average costs, I didn't really look into it further. I just decided I'm just going to get it. It's going to be interesting. And we all know the average cost, at least for me at the bins, is not very high. So I thought I'll take the risk. So my average cost that day was $1.45. So I paid $1.45 for this box. And I get home and realize that it's these 19 figures, part of a villager nativity set from this French pottery house. Long story short, I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. It sold in less than 2 weeks for $150, of course, cash, local delivery. And the woman who purchased it said, oh my goodness, if you ever find any more of this, you have my contact information, please reach out. I would love to have more. So what an amazing find that was very obscure. And again, so exciting when you find things like that. So my friend was also, by the way, hooked after this experience. And in the number 1 spot, the gold medal winner in terms of the most profitable thrift flip that I have had to date. You'll know this brand if you've been watching the video up to this point. It's another pair of John Fluevog boots, this time women's. This very unique style, as you can see in the photo that we're showing you. On this particular day, backing up, this was a Poshmark sale. These sold in less than a week after I put the listing on. I paid 67 cents, so 7 cents more than the other John Fluevog boots that I got. Again, of course, at the bins. And they sold for $200. So after the Poshmark fee, which, ouch, at 20%, they took a nice little chunk out of that, but no complaints here. I was still left with a profit of almost $160 in less than a week. So that wraps up the top 10. And as you can see, wide range of different kinds of items, from small-ish things, little figures, to big golf bags and everything in between. So this is why I love reselling. They're not all like this. Of course, we've got the $5 profit items. We've got the couple times I actually lost money, very rare. But it's so much fun, and it's that thrill of the hunt, we all know. So that wraps up this exciting top 10. At least for me, it was pretty exciting. I know when I watched this type of video from other YouTubers and resellers, I learned a lot. So put a comment down below. Let me know if you learned about anything new, a new brand or a new type of item that maybe you hadn't considered picking up before. And again, I wish you all happy hunting. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. We'll have more interesting, fun videos coming up soon. Bye.